Cípái are a poetic form, a type of lyric poetry, done in the tradition of classical Chinese poetry. Cípái use a set of poetic meters derived from a base set of certain patterns, in fixed rhythm, fixed tone, and variable line length formal types, or model examples. The rhythmic and tonal pattern of the Cípái based upon certain definitive musical song tunes. They are also known as Changduanju and Shiyu. Typically, the number of characters in each line and the arrangement of tones were determined by one of around 800 set patterns, each associated with a particular title, called cípái. Originally they were written to be sung to a tune of that title, with set rhythm, rhyme, and tempo. Therefore, the title may have nothing to do with its contents, and it is common for several cípái to share the same title, having little or nothing to do with the topics of those poems, but rather refers to the shared rhythmic and tonal patterns. Some cípái would have a subtitle indicating the contents. Sometimes, for the sake of clarity, a cípái is listed under its title plus its first line. Cípái most often express feelings of desire, often in an adopted persona, but the greatest exponents of the form used it to address a wide range of topics. History. Although the oldest surviving textual examples of surviving cípái from 8th century CE Dunhuang manuscripts, beginning in the poetry of the Liang dynasty, the cípái followed the tradition of the Shijing and the Yufu. They were lyrics which developed from anonymous popular songs into a sophisticated literary genre, although in the case of the cípái form some of its fixed rhythm patterns have an origin in Central Asia. The form was further developed in the Tang dynasty, although the contributions of Li Bo are fraught with historical doubt. Certainly the Tang poet Wen Tingyuan was a great master of the cípái, writing it in its distinct and mature form. One of the more notable practitioners and developers of this form was Li Yu of the southern Tang dynasty during the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period. However, the cípái form of classical Chinese poetry is especially associated with the poetry of the Song dynasty, during which it was indeed a popular poetic form. A revival of the cípái poetry form occurred during the end of the Ming dynasty and the beginning of the Qing dynasty, which was characterized by an exploration of the emotions connected with romantic love together with its valorization, often in a context of a brief poetic story narrative within a cípái poem or a linked group of cípái poems in an application of the Chuachi form of short story tales to poetry. Classification. 2 main categories of cípái employed in Song dynasty were Shaoling and Manchi, depending on the song being either short and in fast tempo or long and in slow tempo. Later in Ming dynasty and Qing dynasties, the cípái, or rather the cípái, are classified for the number of characters it dictates. It's called Shaoling if it's no more than 58 characters, Zhongdiao for 59 to 90, and Changdiao for over 90. If the cípái appears in one stanza, it's called Dandiao, mostly Shaoling written in pre-Song era. The largest majority is Shuangdiao with 2 stanzas a k in identical or nearly identical patterns. There are also rare cases of Sandia and Sidia for 3 and 4 k, respectively. In terms of style, cípái can also be classified as either Wanyu Heiyu Fang cípái. Most cípái consist of 3 characters. The literal meaning of a cípái can be rather obscure, making it difficult to translate. Some are taken straight from earlier poems, and some are clearly of non-Han origin, mostly songs introduced from Central Asia. Some cípái have alternative names, usually taken from a famous piece of that very cípái. There are also variants of certain cípái indicated by a prefix or a suffix. Example, to the tune of Riverside City, for 10 years here I wander and the you lie. For 10 years here I wander and the you lie. I don't think about you often, yet how can I forget you? with your grave 1,000 miles away, where can I confide my loneliness? Even if we met, could you recognize me, with dust all over my face, and hair like frost? Last night I had a dream in which I returned home. By the window, you were combing your hair. We looked at each other silently, with tears streaming down our cheeks. There's a place which every year will be my misery, the moon at night, the hill of short pines. Sushi. In the title of the Ci, the tune of Riverside City, is the cípái, followed by the first sentence of the poem. Sushi got married when he was 19, his wife 16. His wife died when she was only 27. Because of his government duties, Sushi had moved to many different places in China, all far away from his hometown. One night in early 1075, about 10 years after her death, Sushi dreamed of his wife, then composed this famous Ci. Famous Ci poets: Tang Dynasty and Amp, 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms when Tingguan, Wei Zhuang, Li Kangzu, Gu Zhong, Lu Qiani, Zhan Shan, Mao Zedong, Zhu Zhaoyuan, Sun Guangxian, Li Yu, Song Dynasty Lu Yong, Ouyang Xiu, Sushi, Hu Wang Tingzhan, Qin Guan, Zhou Bangyan, Li Qingzhao, Lu Yu, Shenqiji, Jiang Kui, Wang Yislan, Post Song Gaobing, Qian Qiani, Wu Rai, Gong Dingzi, Zhou Yizhen, Nailan Zingd, Mao Zedong.